It's a tourist hotspot with just one attraction. Every night, thousands of women parade themselves in the bars and streets of the City of Angels. For Western sex tourists, it's a buyer's market. Impoverished young women fight for the attention of rich older men. But one man comes here on a very different mission. Father Cullen is an Irish priest. Sometimes filming openly, but usually with hidden cameras, he tries to find if the pimps are selling children.
They're, sold like chickens in the market, you might say. It's really terrible, especially children. I mean, we've rescued children from the sex industry as young as 13 years old.
Father Cullen has rescued hundreds of children from abuse, and he's given them safe haven in this home run by his children's rights organisation, Prada. His work has won him international celebrity, with Hollywood planning a film on his life. Many regard him as a saint. But this is not a straightforward story about a child crusader. Father Cullen has many critics, including some fellow priests who claim he has ruined lives in a bid for glory.
I don't believe these stories. They're fables, they're not real stories.
People are fighting back. You can't blame them for that. Right? This is a heinous and terrible accusation, and it's something that I will take to my grave.
In his quest to protect children, does Father Cullen go too far?
These pedophiles have to face justice and they have to repent. They should accept their crime and admit it and do their penance. If it's in jail, all the better. That's what I say.
Father Cullen has long been a nemesis of the sex trade. When he first came in the 1970s as a Colombian missionary, his area was the haunt of US sailors from the naval base at Subic Bay. After the base closed in 1992, the bars moved to nearby Angeles City. The customers now come from all over the world. What percentage of the bars do you estimate is run by Australians?
Well, we had a figure here that 60% in Angeles City are run by Australians. Many of the operators do not register their name. They keep their name off the books. They have dummies, they operate through dummies.
Prostitution is, of course, as old as humanity. Many here argue it's not exploitation, just business between consenting adults. And there are strict laws to make sure that bar girls, or guest relations officers as they're called, are over 18. But an illegal trade in child sex has continued beneath the surface, and Father Cullen has never been afraid to get his hands dirty to dig it up.
Can they get, even if I can tell him...
How young ba they want? 15, 16?
Yeah, how young can you get?
15.
15?
The other one is 15, I think 15, 16, she's 16.
For 2 decades, he has posed as a sex tourist, pedophile or brothel investor to entrap pimps.
So they'll do any kind.
Maybe you can hide the camera while you're doing sex with them.
Okay, yun.
I mean, we're considered, just busybodies, and upsetting the apple cart, so to speak. Why are you bringing all these charges? You want to destroy our tourist industry. You want to make the Philippines look bad.
Father Cullen's concern is not tourism or reputations, but young girls like Mary Ann Sarlo. He saved her from a sex bar when she was just 13 years old.
35. The first day, they gave me a bikini, a panty, and a bra. Then they told me to use it, then go up the stage and dance. I was really hiding myself. I was really hiding my body. And the Papa San, Jarrell, was mad at me and he scolded at me that I must dance and gyrate my body and seduce these customers.
What were these men like?
They were old, big stomach, walking like a monster. For me, they are walking like a monster. They look like a monster. And
what nationalities were they?
they're Australian, Americans, Germans, Austrian, and Japanese. There are also Chinese there.
That was 4 years ago. Now Mary Ann, who is half Australian, has a new life at Father Cullen's refuge. Not only is she going to school, for the first time, she's top of the class.
Okay, congratulations, top one.
Mary Ann's life fell apart after her Australian father died.
When I was 11, my dad killed himself in our home.
And that's when it all went wrong.
Yeah. But before we have a happy family, we were studying, we have a good life, but then my mom abused it.
Her mother moved in with her boyfriend, who'd just got out of jail.
I hate this guy because he is a drug addict. He always beats us and doesn't let us to go to school, doesn't want us to go outside our house. That's why I ran away and I stayed with my aunt.
Her aunt introduced her to a pimp who got her the bar job. She was rescued after just 1 week when Father Cullen reported the bar to police. But she had already had to work for bar fines, the fee customers pay to the bar to take girls out for sex.
I was once bar fined and I went to the hotel with this guy but we didn't make sex, but still he made me hold his sensitive part of the body and I slept with him in the hotel.
And you were 13?
Yeah, I was 13.
You must have thought you were in hell.
Yes, I was crying, but I didn't show it to the guy because I know that he will be mad at me and he will tell the owner of the bar and the owner of the bar will get angry at me. That's why I was just crying in the toilet.
What are you doing? Ah, I see, okay.
Father Cullen's passion is not just to rescue the innocent, it's also to convict the guilty. In the Philippines, that can mean a hard and grubby fight. Mary Ann was one of 6 underage girls working in the bar. At Father Cullen's urging, she testified against its American manager, Thomas Jarrell.
I don't want this to happen to other children, so I must speak up. And I was not afraid. I have to be not afraid because I was just telling the truth.
To her amazement, he was acquitted after claiming he didn't know the girls were underage.
I was really crying because what if he will do this again to other children? Why does the court believes with this guy? It's because he's a foreigner. Why only the mama sons are accused?
Prosecutors are, usually on the side of the suspect, you know, and I've lost several cases just like that. They don't file the charges in the court, no matter what evidence we have. We have the victims, we have the abused child, we have witnesses, no, we even have videotapes, no? What does he do? The many tricks. The prosecutor can lose the papers, lose the evidence. He delayed to file the charge with the court, so we cannot get a hold order at the airport. Everything is, the whole system works in favor of the accused.
Father Cullen has fought back by getting down and dirty, trawling the internet and going undercover to gain evidence no court can ignore. Do you ever worry about whether a priest should be doing that sort of thing?
No, I don't, but others do. But it's not so hard to gather evidence and convince a judge when you have videotape. So when we go to rescue a child, well, should we be rescuing children from rape and abuse and pedophilia and trafficking? Of course we should. No? I mean, Jesus himself had a very strong, about pedophilia. Those who abuse children should have a millstone tied around their neck and they're thrown in the sea. He wasn't talking about forgiveness and compassion, justice first.
Father Cullen's high-profile campaign has won him a host of enemies, and not just the pimps and bar owners. Many inside the Philippines church argue this Irish missionary has gone way too far in pursuing suspected pedophiles, perhaps even forcing the conviction of an innocent man. Victor Fitzgerald lives in a small house on the bay beneath Father Cullen's refuge. Just the sight of it on the hill above fills him with anger. He spent 7 years in a hellhole prison after Shay Cullen accused him of pedophilia.
I want to tell Father Shay this, that if his cases were genuine, honest cases, not fabricated and bloody manipulated, but if they were fair dinkum, he wouldn't be getting any flack.
In 1994, Father Cullen was filming a Christmas party from his balcony when he noticed a yacht moored in the bay below.
I saw that there was children and, this Caucasian man there and no other Filipino people, so that's already a violation of the law, to have children in an excluded place. Not to be a relative. So right away we took note of that. I sent out my investigators and we began to do a survey of what was happening down there. And eventually we called the police.
You say somebody has made a complaint?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Well, Preda.
The police arrested Fitzgerald and Father Cullen took the children into his centre, where in the following months they gave detailed statements of abuse. Fitzgerald was eventually sentenced to 8 to 17 years in prison. It was the first conviction under a law Father Cullen had helped introduce that made it an offence for adult strangers to be alone with children in a secluded place. But the story didn't end there. Other priests who studied the case decided a terrible injustice had been done.
Victor was used as a scapegoat to have a celebrated case, as far as I'm concerned. This is my opinion, and this, I'm not saying this is the truth, but I've studied this, and the priest and the bishop here have studied this very well. And we are certain that Victor is innocent.
Mick Duffin is an Australian priest who, like Shay Cullen, came to the Philippines as a Colomban missionary. But there's no priestly love between them.
I don't trust Father Cullen. He's out for propaganda, he's out to make money, he's out for all these things that are not particularly straight. We really do think he's a bit hungry for publicity.
You don't believe there is a child sex trade here?
Oh, there's a huge child sex trade here. But he doesn't seem to come to grips with it very often, but he has great stories, but I just wonder often whether his stories are true.
That's from the bishop.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's a sworn affidavit of his.
Father Duffin and 22 priests, including the then bishop, accused Father Cullen of forcing the children's testimony against Victor Fitzgerald. He was granted a new trial and Father Duffin bailed him out of jail. And did you think this day you were going to be home free?
Well, I've always had the hope, but it's always been dashed.
But you've been here ever since?
I've been here ever since.
Since September 2001?
That's under all the threats that I'd be running away. I've never run away and I never intend to run away. And I'm here till I get some vindication of the whole imbroglio.
Fitzgerald are using what we call the sex mafia, people involved with these people. They manipulated his release from jail under the pretext of a retrial.
Well, are you members of some sex mafia?
We are not. We are not. And, it was unfortunate that Father Cullen had to have this in the newspaper some years ago, accusing us of being part of the other side, the seamy side of this area. And that really is not true.
"13 years on, Victor Fitzgerald is unable to leave the Philippines and could still go back to jail. Thanks to the moribund justice system, he's been waiting more than 5 years for the verdict on his appeal."
I was guilty till proven innocent, yes, that's right. And I've struggled all these years to prove my innocence.
It's a hell of a charge to be called a paedophile, isn't it?
Oh, it's a disgraceful, demoralising thing to have to suffer.
OK, so this is Gloria, is it?
This is Gloria, yes.
Hello, Gloria. Eric, how are you? To demonstrate his innocence, he and Father Duffin arranged for us to meet one of the girls who was 13 when she was found on his boat. So you were the little girl that people said Victor did bad things to you?
Iyan ang sabi niya, kaya yung kaso ni Victor, ikaw ang babae, di ba? Yes.
Yeah. But what really happened? Did Victor do bad things to you?
Meron siyang nagawa sa iyo masama si Victor?
Wala ho.
He didn't do anything at all to her.
So why did you say those stories about Victor?
Why did you... Yung mga story noon, bakit sinabi mo? May evidence sa
Meron po natuturo sa akin si Father Cullen po.
Father Cullen taught her what to say.
Right. Now a young woman, Gloria insists Father Cullen forced her to make up her story.
May pinangako din silang pera kang bibigyan ng 50,000.
Well, she said they really looked after her well because I was hoping that she would give evidence against Victor. And actually, they promised to give her, if she did give this evidence that they trained her to give, they would give her 50,000 pesos. And they never ever gave that 50,000 pesos.
Father Cullen's supporters have claimed that Gloria's mother made her retract the allegations in return for money. But Gloria, has anyone here, Victor or Father Duffin, told you to say things, told you to change your story?
Has si Victor o ako sinabi sa iyo na huwag sabihin yung sinabi ni Father Cullen? No.
Did you ever tell them what to say?
No, of course not. You don't put words in the... You don't have to. They'll be caught out in cross-examination anyway. It's very hard to try to do anything like that because such a thing would be discovered right away.
So were you angered when some fellow priests accused you effectively of doing that?
Well, we very cynical about what's going on sometimes, among church people who are afraid to face up and cannot cope with the reality of clerical sexual abuse of children. Maybe they have something to hide, and I would challenge them, if you have nothing to hide, why are you doing this?
The truth may never be decided. Victor Fitzgerald has compiled voluminous evidence he believes will prove him innocent. But at 77, with failing health, he fears he will die before he clears his name.
justice delayed is justice denied, and that's the case here, right? If these documents are looked at and examined in the broad daylight of the truth, then I have to be acquitted of this heinous crime. And that's what I'm praying for.
Would you like to go home?
Oh, desperately. Desperately, I would like to see my family. I haven't seen them for so long. Yes, I would.
No, I don't feel sorry for anybody who is, abusing children in some way. He was convicted. It was really a triumph of justice and hard work to get a conviction. No, because he had everything going for him. He's protected by the authorities and by the sex mafia, and the sex club owners. They don't want to have a sex tourist convicted. It's bad for business. Ito ay si Cristo, tanggapin mo ang katawan at dugo ni Cristo.
The controversy has not shaken his determination to pursue what he calls the sex mafia.
Ang katawan at dugo ni Jesucristo. We won't give up here. No, there's too much to be done, no, and the mission isn't complete. We're still working on. Ito ay si Cristo. I don't give up with threats. I mean, then they win. It's a, it's a kind of a victory for the pedophiles and those sex mafia. We won't give up. No matter what they say or do, no, we'll have to fight them back.
It's a campaign that has brought him fame and notoriety and the funding to run his refuge for abused kids.
Ama, Anak, Espiritu Santo.
I really love this man, and I'm so happy because I met him and he helped me.
But in the ledger of good and ill, cases like Mary Ann's will continue to stand out.
I believe that this guy is so good, and he's really a nice man who really helps children. It was so dark for me, no light, no guidance that I will be rescued. But then, yeah, I was rescued, and I was so happy for that.